I see him right there.
I see.
Yeah.
God, he can make you more.
Howdy y'all, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be looking at a hunt from our 2025 season. This was my dad and I finally being able to get out together after many years, unfortunately, but we finally got out in the blind again, just like we used to, and we had some really fun hunts. It's about a week and some change total, I'd say, of us hunting together really hard in this one specific spot. The first day we went out, we had crazy good action, and that's kind of what just kept us coming back whenever the wind would work right for us. And y'all will see, we had some pretty fun hunts, so let's check it out. So to start off this hunt, we like I said, we got out into this blind that I had set up just a few days prior to us going out there, and I mean, we'd probably only been in the blind about 30 minutes or so, and we had our first doe roll out, and then she kind of worked her way out in the field. Our wind wasn't perfect for this setup, so she was being a little squirrely. Shortly after her, we had a buck come out in about the same spot as she did, and same situation, being a little squirrely because of the wind, but wasn't nothing too bad. And he ended up going back in the woods and sat there for a little while longer and just taking in the good views and just being out in the woods together. And then sure enough, we have a few more does come out in the field, and these ones are starting to act a little more calm, so we're getting a little more comfortable thinking our wind's starting to die down. And they ended up working out in the field, giving us a good show, and so we're just sitting there watching them. And then probably about 5 minutes or so of them milling around out in the field, I look over to my left, and right where that other buck had come out, we had another buck pop out right there, this weird looking non-typical guy, and he was sitting over there making a scrape, breaking up some branches in the trees, getting all fired up on them does. He was started acting a little squirrely from the wind, so he ended up just kind of working his way up the tree line with the does, and they all just milled around and then worked their way out of the field. And so after that buck and those few does moved on down to the end of the field, we just kind of watched them move out of there, and we're just sitting there talking and being happy we had had this fun of a hunt on the first time being out here, seeing all these deer. And it was getting to that last magical hour of the hunt, and we were like, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, we've already had a pretty good hunt. And sure enough, I'm sitting there fiddling with the camera, and I look up and I'm like, here comes a big one, Dad.
See what he does.
So after this obvious shooter steps out, we're just watching him, trying to make a game plan. He's acting pretty fired up on these does and being pretty interested in them. So I grab the rattle bag and I start smashing that thing together. And it don't take long. He lifts his head up and turns it right back around towards us and makes a whole turn and starts heading right to us. And so we're like, it's on now. So he's just ended up working his way to us, just slowly going. It feels like it's taking forever, but you know, in reality, it's just a couple minutes. And so he's just breaking the distance, getting closer and closer, and we're all ramped up. We're excited. We're like, this is about to happen, and like, you know, just as it goes when you're hunting, you get excited. You don't think of everything you need to think of, and I mean, there was nothing we could really do about this specific situation, but just being all excited, we didn't really remember that all these other deer that had came out before that were getting close to the blind were catching our swirling wind right there in that like 30-yard range of being in that blind. And so sure enough, he starts working his way, and he gets to about 34 to 30 yards from us, and he just stops and he starts lifting that head up and his nose is going back and forth, and I'm instantly like, well, crap, we're screwed now. And sure enough, he caught that swirly scent that he didn't really like and turned around and hightailed it right back to them doe, and that was that. We just had to sit there and watch that pretty guy just walk on out of our lives. But that's how it goes. And for a first time set on a spot like that we had just set up, I mean, we weren't kicking ourselves in the butt too hard about it. It was a really, really fun time. And if it wasn't so low light, I probably would have been able to get a better range on that buck, and my dad might have been able to get a shot on him because, like I said, he was only about 30 to 34 yards when he ended up hanging up out there. But I mean, I was sitting there running the camera and trying to run my rangefinder, and it was low light, obviously. And so I was sitting there hitting all these other things around him and couldn't get a solid range on him. And my dad just didn't feel comfortable taking that shot with a not for sure range on him. So we just had to watch him go, and on to the next day it was.
We're out here on a piece of property that we have permission to hunt on. Lake's been going through and setting things up. We've been waiting for the right kind of conditions. We were finally out here yesterday. Got set up. First time out here. Wind wasn't quite right, but we had a great hunt. We saw a lot of deer. We saw a couple of shooter bucks. Come back out in the morning. Passed on some doe. We saw one buck in the timber. So we're back out here in the evening. Set back up. The wind conditions are right. Just waiting now to see if we have, the Lord blesses us with one of his great creations coming out. Hopefully we get set up on one of these big bucks.
And for the next few days of us going out there, we really battled these swirling winds. It seemed like we were just having to always watch our weather apps. And of course, the whole time we were getting all these wrong wind predictions. We're sitting there watching our cell cams, and there's bucks out there left and right, just taunting us. And finally, a few days roll around where it's the right wind for us, and so we get out there on some morning and evening hunts, and we're seeing decent deer action. We're seeing a lot of young bucks and a ton of does. But there's a couple bucks out there that we've been getting on cam that my dad had in mind that he'd try to pull the trigger on if they showed up. And so we were just hanging out for one of those guys. So it was about probably, I'd say 3 to 4 days of hunting hard after seeing that big buck, where we had just went through seeing younger bucks and a handful of does and coyotes and pretty much everything else but a good mature buck. And we were still battling those crappy wind situations. But finally, after a few days of being out there and just seeing young, nice bucks and the does and everything else, we got out there on a good morning, and my dad had already told me he was ready to pull the trigger on something. Basically, we'd been sitting there, had close calls, and nothing had happened yet. He was ready. If the good Lord blessed him with a nice buck, he was going to pull the trigger on it. It was kind of a slow morning. Weren't really seeing much after that, and then all of a sudden I just look up and I'm like, here comes a buck. This deer is right there in our face now, and Dad's still trying to get everything ready for the shot, because I mean, this guy was coming in quick. So by the time this deer had already got 8 yards in front of us, Dad wasn't even fully ready to take the shot yet. So I'm just sitting there, camera rolling, telling him, whenever you're ready, go for it.
It looks high enough. Wish I could see. We're watching the shot back right now. Dad just, we think he smoked a good one. It happened super fast. But now it happened, and we have it. I got the bait probably too close to this setup, and he was super close, and when Dad went to shoulder his shot, he spooked, and he stopped and turned at about 20 so yards, and Dad was able to get a shot off it, but he had to kind of go my way a little bit. So the crossbow cam and lamb ends up hitting my camera during the shot, so we got some of the shot, but it's a little hard to tell, so we're confident, but we're just gonna probably give him some time and see what the sign says, hopefully. Hopefully the Lord let us have this one. It's a fun hunt so far. Stay tuned. Yeah, all up through here. There's more, a bunch more up here, bunch more right here. He's really opening up through here. I can see it going all the way through. I said I can see the blood going all the way down through. He's really opening up. Do you want to go back and just get him a little bit? What do you think? I think he's dead. You think so? Yeah. I really do. There he is. I see him right there. Where? I see him. Yeah. We got him. Thank you, Lord. What? Let me see if I can get this for Tanner. There he lays. That's awesome. Thank you, God. What a blessing.
That's a
Look at that guy.
look at him. That is
Awesome. I'll take him.
visible.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Got it done.
Yep. Wow. I wonder where your bolt went.
It was just a super fun, awesome time to be out there with my dad again after all those years. Just being busy, not being able to, getting to see all this deer action with him and getting to see him smoke this beautiful buck. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was something I'll remember forever, and I'm really happy I was able to get as much of it I could on film, and I'm really happy I'm able to put it together and get it up here on the channel for y'all. I thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys liked it. Let me know what other kind of hunts you want to see. We're 100% going to have more whitetail, more turkey hunts coming out. We're going to have coyote hunts coming soon. So stay tuned for all that. Thank you guys again for watching and for all the support. I really hope you like this little hunt. Thanks again. Peace, y'all. Stay blessed.